Hello everyone, Jules here. Today I'd like to talk about a unique tarot deck that was published last year. That is an alchemical journey through the Major Arcana of the Tarot. And this is by Nina Bunjevac. So here is the box. This is quite a unique deck. It is a tarot deck of the Major Arcana cards, and the artist is also the author of the book. Nina Bunjevac is quite a well-regarded graphic artist and also award-winning as well. And the artwork is really interesting in this deck. It's black and white art with gold accents. So here is the box, and here is the book, the guidebook. It's written by the artist. It's very well written. This cover has the Hermit card on the front, so you might be able to see some of the great detail in the artwork from the cover. And what is really interesting about this deck is each of the Major Arcana cards, the commentary for each of the images is equated with a stage of alchemy, and that is why it's called an alchemical journey through the Major Arcana of the Tarot. And in the book, in the guidebook, there are great images from the deck. It's the same image from the cards, so that's a good size to see all the artwork, see the details. And then there is 2 pages of commentary for each card. There's a great introduction as well, and in the introduction the author and artist is talking about why this deck was created. It was published in 2023, but there was a previous version of a limited edition that was published in Europe, and because it was so well received, now this has been published by a mass market publisher. And the artist has created this deck because of not only an interest in alchemy and esoteric subjects, but because of her experience with Jungian analysis. So there are references to the work of Carl Jung in this deck as well, and there's a great bibliography in the back of the book for people who are interested in other books on alchemy and some of the works of Carl Jung. There's a great bibliography in the back. So this is a worthwhile deck. It's not really a divination deck. It's more of a deck for inner exploration, and I have got a playlist on my channel about inner alchemy, which this type of deck well and truly fits in with. And that is pretty much how I see tarot. I mainly work with tarot for inner exploration, so that's a reason why I particularly wanted this deck, as well as the great artwork. This deck would also be great for ritual work or magic, including magic as well, because the size of the images, the size of the cards, I'll show you the back of the cards, They've got a semi-gloss finished. They are they look glossier on camera than they are in person. But I know it's sort of the shiny on camera here, but they're not too glossy. I was wondering about that when I bought the deck, but it's not too glossy, so I'm glad. There's a gloss, but it's not too gloss. It's more of a lamination. So there's the back. The back design is from the back of the box like it's a torch. So here is the torch bearing the light. So I really like that. So to start to look at the cards, here is the full card. So straight away you can see that this is a very original approach and very original art. And I like the graphic art as well. But I like the gold accents. I love black and white decks, but I love the gold accents. And as you can also see, these are rather tall cards. And that is why they're not the kind of cards that are going to be easy to shuffle. For me, it's going to be more choosing cards to use. But that's up to individual person who's using the deck. But I'm going to intentionally choose cards. So here is the Fool. The Magician. You can see all the alchemical symbolism in this image. I'm going to show all the cards because there's only 22. So the Magician. The High Priestess. The Empress. The artwork is really quite lovely. It's very thought-provoking. The Emperor. I'm usually not a fan of the Emperor card, but I really like this one. There's esoteric and alchemical symbolism in the images. You have Roman numerals at the top, but the title is on the card. It's a great Emperor card. The High Priest. Now here is another card that I'm usually not very keen on because it's normally titled the Hierophant. But this is particularly about the alchemical work. There's a description of the image for each of the cards, but it's mainly about the meaning. And there's also a kind of negative meaning as well. So it's not called reversed in the book, but you could take it as that. I mean, it's not the kind of deck to use for reversals, but at least there is a negative meaning for each of the cards as well. And that's really great for inner work too. The Lovers. You have the divine alchemical marriage. the sun and the moon at the top. The Chariot. And this is very original because this is taking the vantage point of the charioteer here holding the reins. And I often see this card as the charioteer rather than the chariot. So I really like that. Justice is 8, number 8, as in traditional decks or Marseille decks. Here is the Hermit, which is on the cover of the book. Wheel of Fortune. Strength. Really like this particular strength card. This is the Hanged Man, but it's really more of an androgynous, it's really androgynous kind of figure. I would have called this the Hanged One, but it's got the traditional title. Death. I think it's a great deck for self-transformation work as well. Temperance. The Devil. This is quite an unusual devil card because usually the two figures below the devil image are normally chained to the devil, or they're chained to the cube, but with these two figures they're actually kind of chained to each other. They're enslaving each other. I think that's a really interesting angle to look at this from. Tower. It's very much a blasted tower. Quite a beautiful star card. I love the circular image at the back, in the background. The Moon. This is a very interesting card, not only with the image, but it's particularly meaningful in this deck. If you can have a look at the top there where the moon is, this is actually representing a closed eye, because this image is about sleep and dreams, which is traditionally associated with. I really like this idea of the closed eye. And the author and artist mentions for this card that this is all about Jungian dream analysis in particular, and just paying attention to your own dreams. And in the book it's also recommended, while using this deck for inner work, to keep a journal. And you could keep a kind of a journal to record your dreams. And the idea of Jungian dream analysis is not so much to do with the immediate symbolism. Carl Jung actually wrote about his method of keeping track of dreams over a long period of time, quite a long period of time, and then looking for trends over a period of time. So that's different to the kind of usual sort of thinking about a dream or thinking about the symbolism soon after and writing that down or thinking about that. This is dream analysis over a longer period of time. The Sun. It's a really beautiful card. You can really see the joy in the card, the joy of the image. Judgment. And the World. So you have the world egg in the middle with the serpent entwined around that, which is a very Gnostic type of symbol. So that's the World card, and that's all of the cards from an alchemical journey through the Major Arcana of the Tarot by Bunjevac. This deck is really quite unique. It's for people who are interested in alchemy, interested in symbolism, interested in the works of Carl Jung, people who want to use this for ritual or magic. It's great for inner contemplation, and that's all part of inner work as well. And it's not for quick answers, it's for answers that can develop over time. So this is not really a divination deck at all. It doesn't seem to be specifically mentioned in the book, in the guidebook, but it's obviously quite obvious that this is a deck for inner work. And that's another reason why there are the Major Arcana cards, only the Major Arcana cards, and not the inclusion of other cards. Because the Major Arcana are the most symbolic and meaningful cards of the deck, and they are perfect for inner work. And there's strong symbolism that is also associated with the Major Arcana. So for people who are interested in those things, it's a really good deck for that. It's a great deck for that. The art is unique. So for people who are interested in those things, it's a great deck for that. So I'll put some details below the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.